Hi, hi. I know this is not one of my usual videos, but it's kind of a safety tip for anybody out there who's watching this. Uh, well, on October 15th, 2007, I slipped and fell at work. And here. This is that is what I have to live with since that day. And all I did was slip and fall at work. What had happened was I know that a lot of people at the work I like the place I worked at, a lot of people crossed the conveyor belt at this one spot, so I thought I could do that too. And that's when I slipped and fell, hit my leg, and had this nickel-sized bruise on my leg. I thought, that isn't so bad. I'll just go tell my boss. I told my boss, I slipped, I fell, hit my leg. I showed him the bruise, and he said, "Can you still work?" I said, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem. It's it's nothing. There's nothing to worry about." He's like, "Oh sure, okay." And so I went back to work like nothing's wrong. About an hour later, my leg was still hurting. I thought, that's kind of weird that my leg is still hurting from, that injury. So I went over to my lunch container, which I had by my workstation, took the blue ice pack thing out of the container, put it on my leg, and that's when I noticed that my leg was starting to swell a little bit. But, oh crap, that isn't good. I went to, so I told my boss, yeah, I'm really starting to feel the pain in my leg. And he said, oh, okay. Can you still work? I said, yes, but not as well. So he said, oh, okay. Um, he's, he said that if I have any problems, just tell him and he'll somehow see if he could get something to work out for me. I went and sat down at the first coffee break and told him that my leg was really starting to hurt. And he said, oh, okay. Went off and then came back a couple minutes later with an incident report and and we filled it out and said that maybe a touch more serious than we thought. Boy, was I wrong. Uh, like, I sat there, he asked me if I needed anything. I said, maybe a little ice won't hurt. Maybe get the swelling down a touch on my leg. And he said, yeah, sure, okay. He went off, got a little bag. We have fridges around there as well. I had like a peanut butter and jam sandwich. I didn't think I needed to put it in the fridge, so I had it at my station. But he went over to the fridge, got some ice out of the freezer part, put in a little bag, hands it to me. I said, "Put it on your leg." I said, "Yeah, sure. That's great." I put it on my leg and sat there until lunch with this bag of ice on my leg, and the pain still did not go away. I thought, I better go check this out. It does not feel right at all. So I hobbled over to the washroom, went into one of the stalls, and pulled my pants down to make it look like I was going to the bathroom, and noticed that how severe it was. So I quickly hobbled back to my work area, found one of the guys and told him part of the skin has separated from my leg and a whole bunch of fluid is built up behind it. Go find our boss now. This is an emergency. And he's like, yeah, it sure is. And he ran off to find our boss. Our boss ran over to comfort me and said, we're going to get you to the hospital. I said, yeah, that would be great. And he helped me get into a cab. I went to the hospital. I phoned home to tell my family, and they said, we'll be there as soon as possible. My mom showed up, got there, and I was there probably 5 minutes. Got to the hospital, told them about my injury, how I injured my leg, and they said, go sit down in the waiting room. We'll call you when we can get you in. I was there like 5 minutes. I was just moaning away. My mom went over and told the reception lady, look, I think part of the bone in my son's leg is sticking out of his leg, and he's in a lot of pain right now. The receptionist quickly rushes over to me, starts poking me, like hard poke, and I went, ow, and whacked her hand away, and she said, I'm just seeing how your leg is. I said, okay, fine. She starts poking my leg, and she says, how many towels do you have wrapped around your leg? And I said, none. That's my leg you're poking. And she said, oh, we better get you into emergency now. So she got a wheelchair over, wheeled me into the one room, and said, get your pants off, your shirt off and stuff, and put on this gown thing. I dropped my pants and they looked at my leg and they immediately blurred out, holy crap! After seeing my leg, and they said, you're glad we did get you in now because that looks really bad. Yeah, and about a little while later, they came over and said, okay, we got a spot for you in the x-ray thing, and we'll take an x-ray of your leg to see how bad it is. I said, oh, okay. They got me to lay down on this bed thing, and they said, can you move your leg so that we can scan it? And I said, not really. It hurts a lot. And they said, oh, sure, okay, we can set out so we can take it from the top and the side, so don't worry about it. I was like, oh, okay. Got the x-rays done. Got out of there and went over back to my wheelchaired myself back to the little room, and I sat there on the bed, and they said, one of the paramedics guys that usually goes in the ambulances comes over, looks at my leg, starts feeling my leg, like my foot, finds this one little spot on my foot, and marks an X on my leg. I thought, okay. He says, that is so I can find your pulse later. Like, I'm going to be back in 2 and 4 hours. If that pulse stops in any of that time, we're going to have to amputate your leg off. That literally scared the crap out of me. Like, I've experienced some scary things before, but nothing is as bad as that. And, like, a couple of hours later, the paramedics guy shows up, checks my foot to see if everything's fine. And he said, "Yeah, the pulse is still strong as ever. Nothing to worry about." Even the X-ray people came over and said, "Your leg is fine. You just broke a whole bunch of minor arteries in your leg, but the major arteries to your like the rest of your leg and your foot are fine. So the chances of you losing your leg are pretty low." So I thought, oh, okay, that isn't so bad, I guess. And I asked them, "When do you think I can go back to work?" And they said, probably 2 months, 3 months at most. I was like, 2 or 3 months off of work. I don't know if I can do that. And he said, "It isn't so bad after a while, but you'll get used to it. But after that, you can go back to work on light duties and stuff like that." About a month and a half later, I got to go back to work. Like my body can heal a touch faster than, like, the external part can heal a touch faster than the average human, so I was actually able to go back to work in a month and a half on really light duties, like sit at a computer and do office work for 2 weeks. And after the 2 weeks, I can go back to where I was working before. They said, "Oh, yeah, sure, I can live with that." And ever since I've had this scar on my leg. So, I guess this is to all the people who are, daredevils out there. Consider yourself lucky if you ever get injured and get, not as injured as me. Because if a slip and fall can do this to a person, you could be, like, if you end up slipping and falling, you could be in better shape than me and just have a minor little bruise on your leg with no problems. Or if you hit it, worse than me, it could cost you your leg or your arm or something. If a minor little slip can cause that. Like, if a little slip and fall can cause this to my leg, what can a little slip and fall do to you? Well, I think I've gone on long enough about this, so, bye.